me where I'm from, how old I am, what do I do for a living, and where I've been. Open your eyes. Do you think that's possible? Maybe, because we have perceptions and ideas of the things we see, and we associate them with experiences, but are they accurate? Maybe, maybe not. Today I'm here to talk about perceptions, and the way I'm going to do that is by telling you a little story about myself. And the story begins in a beautiful island in the Caribbean where I was born and raised, called Dominican Republic. Now, I grew up in a very typical single-parent household with a very atypical single mother. She was a hydraulics engineer. She worked for the government, building huge buildings and dams, and she was truly an inspiration. I remember going to construction sites with her and watching my mom, which is, by the way, 4 foot, 11 inches. And she was yelling at all these big guys to stop slacking and go back to work. Now, when I go back to school and I open my books and I see the pictures of the teacher and the doctor and the lawyer, and there's the engineer, there's this big guy with a big jaw and he looks very powerful. And I think, well, that doesn't look like my mom, but I know she's an engineer. I've seen her work. We lived in a society that told us what we should be, how it should look. And it was very challenging for my mom to be successful in her field. And in fact, people around her were not expecting her to succeed. So imagine how tough it was for her to raise me to believe that I could be. Since that very moment, I challenged my resolve and decided that if she could do it, then I can definitely choose any of those pictures on my book. At age 7, I was admitted into a very prestigious bilingual program in my country that not many people had the chance to go. And we would commute there from very far away, and I had a lot of friends, and it was wonderful. But every time we left the program and my friends, which were very nice people, offered to give us a ride home, my mom would refuse. I couldn't understand why until one day I was talking with my friends, and I revealed the neighborhood we lived in. Everybody was in shock. And then my friend looked at me and said, "Well, you don't look like you live there." And that became a common thing throughout my life, hearing that statement. Fast forward, I turned 15 and I graduated from this great program. And as I graduated, I was offered a job as a teacher assistant in the same institution. And I took it, I was super excited. On the first day of school, one of the teachers who was hired for the junior program missed the day. And my manager, desperate and not knowing what to do, looked at me and said, "Can you teach this class?" I said, "Yes." I will say yes. So I take my radio and my chalk and my eraser, long time ago, and my books, and go into my classroom, and I walk in, and there's this group of 15, 14, 16 years old, and this guy comes from the front row, is chatting, not really paying attention, helps me with the stuff, I put it on the desk, and he looks at me and says, "You're helping the teacher with the stuff?" And there was a silence in my head. I was like, this is the moment when I really need to see this right. So I looked at him and smiled and said, "I am a teacher." And the whole class went silent. Everybody stopped talking and just turned to look at me. And there was a girl in the front row, and she took the word and said, "You're the teacher, but you don't look like a teacher, you look just like a student." Now, for those of you who know the movie Catch Me If You Can, this scene might be familiar because Frank Abagnale, the main character of the movie, started his career by making his classmates believe he was their substitute teacher. Unlike Frank, I didn't go around the world forging checks and becoming many things that I was not, but I was offered a full-time teaching position after that day, and that marked the beginning of my career in education. After that, I decided to move to New York City. It was 3 years ahead, I was graduated, and I stayed with some family friends when I moved here. I was having a chat one evening with her children, and her daughter told me, "You don't look Dominican. You don't even act like one." So I asked her, I was like, "So what do I look like then?" But that question was not the first one I heard that. Even when I was back home, people would tell me I didn't look or act let's remember that the Dominican Republic is an island that was colonized by Spaniards, that mixed with the Taino people, that mixed with the African people that were brought later on. So what is a Dominican supposed to look like? I'm one, and I decided to take a chance in the entertainment industry. I did off-Broadway shows, commercials, I was in TV networks. It was a whole thing. And when I'm going to auditions and meeting casting directors, there was a lot of focus on looks as well. And I was not expecting that. One particular time, I was called for a role as a Latina girl in a movie. I said, this is it. I walked in that room, I brought my audition, and the director said, I'm sorry, but we're looking for a more Latina look. I'm a born and raised Dominican. I was mind-blowing. So I tried to win back the room, and I was like, well, at one time I participated in this Dominican Republic competition. And she just replied, really? But you don't look like a model. And that was the end of it. On another occasion, I went to another audition, and I was talking with the casting directors when I tried to win the room once again and said, well, I did competitive boxing at once. And she said, you? But you don't look like a boxer. There was a constant focus on what I should look like, and then this corresponds to something else. And my talent or my ability or my desire to do things was being disregarded by this. Back home, I did TV as well. I actually had my own TV show at a point, and it was really fun. But every time I said hi to my students on camera, people on the audience on the stage will tell me, are you really a teacher? Because you don't look like it. I really brushed it off this time, because what is a teacher supposed to look like anyway? During this time, I got my own TV show, but I really wanted to be a rock star. I was rocking that goth look, I had black hair, eyeliner, it was a whole thing going on. And I had a show about that, and one time after practice, we went to the supermarket. And there was a little girl there, and she ran towards me, and we hugged each other, and she's like, teacher, teacher. And I'm hugging her, we're having a moment, and then I look back, and there are her parents, and they look. There was this mix between afraid and confused. And the mom said, that's your teacher? And she said, yes. She's like, she doesn't look like a teacher. I mean, that day I didn't, but where I'm going with this is that I really wanted to find another perspective. So much that I went to travel 30 different countries and learn 4 new languages. Unfortunately, my experience overseas was not that different. In China, they asked me to attach a picture of myself to each one of my resumes. And many times I was rejected because they thought I was from Philippines. Other times, and I remember these emails very clearly, they told me they didn't want Blasians. For those of you who don't know what that is, a Blasian is a person which is a mix of African American and Asian. Finally, there was one particular email when they told me, we do not want to hire ABC, American-born Chinese. We want real American teachers. Last time I checked, I was as real back then as I am here today. And then I went to Japan, and in Japan, my boss was obsessed with me removing my nose ring, which has been there forever. And she said, well, a teacher shouldn't look like that. You have to take it off. It has to come off. That's not what the students should see. But the students were happy, they were outperforming, we were having a great time, and nobody else was focused on this but her. So when we went to her office, she gave me a pair of rusted pliers, and she said, okay, so you can take it off, or I'll help you. It was Friday, so I got to go home, and I told her I would take care of it once the weekend was over. I was very lucky that I went to onsen, and the thing came off, and that was the end of that story. In Europe, people thought I was from Brazil. And in Egypt, in the Middle East, people thought I was from Egypt. In Istanbul, people thought I was from Turkey. And in Latin America, they could never guess where I was from. But Moscow has to hold a very special place in my heart. I was walking one day to work. We were developing a curriculum for a new center. And this gentleman came up to me to ask me for directions. I told him in my broken Russian that I wouldn't be much help. So he told me I should go back to Africa and walked away. Then, again, there's this focus on perspective, on how I should look and what I should be. When I got back to New York and my husband asked me to marry him, I looked at myself and said, me, a wife, but I don't look like one. Then when the doctor told us we were having a son, I said, me, a mother, but I don't look like one. And finally, when I opened my business, I said, me, a boss, I don't look like one. But what do all these things look like anyway? This constant search for self-identity had me thinking, who am I? Am I a teacher? Am I a model, entrepreneur? Am I a wife? And the answer is all of the above. People are going to have lots of opinions on what you do, what you look like. And if you continue to look at yourself through their eyes, then you'll never find who you truly are. Your looks will change throughout your life, but what's in here will always remain the same. Challenge perspectives. Be yourself. Follow your dreams. Doesn't matter what other people say. Because imagine if all the flowers were the same color, if we all spoke the same language or looked the same, how boring life would be. You could be that flower that's different and it's going to make us happy, it's going to make us discover something new. Well, how would we know if you conform to what other people think and tell you you are? Break stereotypes, challenge perspectives, and follow your dreams. Thank you.